How you doing? Feeling pretty good actually. My foot's starting to feel much better, and I'm ready to do this. I want to talk to you today about gear switches, changes that I'm going to make going back on trail. I think this is important because we have to learn and adapt, right? And I have learned a few things about the PCT. Number one, it's warmer during the day. I don't need as many daytime clothes. I don't need as many layers. Number two, it does get much colder at night. I should focus more on nighttime and just thin out the layers during the day. But anyway, let's go over some of the changes. All right, let's start with the pack. This is a Exos by Osprey. My Arc Haul, my Z-Packs Arc Haul 62 liter, had a couple issues with it. Number one, it was really hurting my shoulders, at the front. I would have to pinch them in because the straps were so wide, they were rubbing on the ball of my shoulders. And I was bleeding there pretty bad. I was using Leuko tape and stuff like that. This one is much narrower, even though it's an Exos. Technically, it's the heavier of the two between the Asia and the Exos, but it's blue. I bought it. Hey, it is what it is. It's between this and the ULA, but the ULA was only 2 ounces lighter than this. But this has a whole pile more comfort because it brings the pack off away from your pack or your back. So I'm going to use it. The comfort, the ease of use. Even if I took the lid off it, it would actually be lighter than the ULA circuit. So this is the pack I'm going to switch to. Okay, next up is a removal. This here is a liner that I was using with my 20 degree Enlightened Equipment Revelation quilt. I was using the two of these because I thought I could mix and match them. But the weight of these together, because my 20 degree is not a 950 fill, it's an 850 fill, it's much heavier than if it were a 900, 950, or 1000. And the combination of these two are over 2 pounds. This here is almost a pound by itself, and the quilt was 21 ounces. So out with that. So more to that, what I've done is enter my 0 degree, oops, hit the light there, almost hit the light. My 0 degree Enlightened Equipment Revelation, it is 28 ounces. So it's going to save me a half a pound. Yes, I can lay it out flat. It's one of the convertible ones where the foot box can be undone and laid out flat like a blanket. So in the hot summer months when I'm not really needing all this insulation, it's great. When I'm up in the mountains, I close the foot box up, I put the straps in, like when I'm in the Sierras or up north and it gets cold at night, this is the perfect solution. I sleep cold anyway. When it says 0 degree Fahrenheit, for me, that's generally, I'm good at around 15, maybe 20 in this, to be honest. Everybody's different. Everybody sleeps different. Some people sleep hot, some people don't, whatever. And it's purple. I love purple. It's the only purple thing I'm going to have. Ceenoc Vecto 2 liter to add to my water system. I know we're going to have plenty of water, but there will be, I still have 300 or 400 miles, well, no, about 300 miles left of the desert section to do. And then after that, I still may have some trouble with water carries. We'll see. At any rate, I'm going to have 3 liters in bottles and 2 liters here. That'll be 5 liters. That should be plenty. This doesn't have to be filled up all the time anyways. I don't have to use it all the time. I only need to use it when I need overflow. It's tiny, it's light, it's security for me when I'm on the trail. I didn't use one up till now, and I ended up having like 4 1-liter bottles, and then I would really struggle sometimes, especially if I didn't make it to a water source that night. I may have drank 2 liters. I have to go sparing overnight with it and then leave myself a liter in the morning to get to the next water source. Having this I wouldn't have had to worry about that. I could just have my nice hot chocolate at night and my coffee in the morning and not worry about water. I don't want to have to worry about water. Water is an essential part of life, but it can be the biggest source of anxiety on trail if you're so far away from water source and your source, you know, your amounts are dwindling. This was an issue for me a couple times on trail, so no more. Ceanoc, Becto, they're great. I'm dumping the toque, getting rid of the hat. I don't need it. I have my puffy. I have the hat from this sun hoodie. I have 2 layers that I can use, and I haven't used this yet. That's the thing. The Sky Goat also has a hoodie. I'm not sure I'm bringing it, but I am getting rid of it. And while we're on the Sky Goat, I'm going to get rid of it. I haven't worn it. It's heavy as hell. Yes, it's nice to wear because it breathes. It's quite nice that way. But I mean, I have this. I have a merino layer. I have another top. I have my rain jacket. I have my puffy. I mean, I have 5 or 6 layers up top. I don't need to have all of that. During the day, especially, this is something I think I made a mistake on. I kept thinking that at elevation and when it's cold, it'll really be cold all day. But that's just not true. I find it goes up pretty decent during the day, and we're all very warm when we're hiking anyway. So, I mean, to me, the perfect weather for hiking is around 40 degrees, believe it or not. I'm really happy at 40, up to 50. I like it warmer too, don't get me wrong, but I'm just thinking more about cutting weight for things that I'm not using, and I have not. I think I may have put the Sky Goat on once, and that was it. So I don't see the need to have that extra 7 ounces, almost half a pound for one piece. That is not what I call practical. It'd almost be better to have a second hoodie if I was going to do that, which, as you can tell, just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to do that. So the Sky Goat, it's out. Ass pad. I'm adding an ass pad. It's a sit pad. I don't know which one this is. I think it's a Thermarest. Okay, Thermarest Z-Seat. It's just a tiny little pad. It's funny, these things are so handy. You just have no idea how handy they are. You can kneel on them when you're down getting into your tent or getting out at night. Say, for example, during the day, you can just pull it out, set it on a rock, sit down, have lunch, whatever, or a log. Yes, I do have my Gossamer Gear 1/8 inch foam padding, which, by the way, has been shredded already, and just doesn't, even when I fold it 4 times, it just doesn't give me the same cushion that this does. But what it does do is I put it underneath my pad at night, and it stops my pad from sliding all around the tent. Is that worth carrying that extra weight for? Which, I mean, it's not much weight. I don't know. I might bring them both. I'm not sure. But I do know that I missed this immensely. I had a yellow one and a blue one. I took the blue because blue seems to be my theme this year, I guess. Okay, Tyvek. My Tyvek ground sheet. It's the first time I've ever tried Tyvek, and I gotta say I don't like it. First of all, because you're laying it down underneath the duplex. The duplex has a floating bathtub. One gust of wind and boom, that Tyvek just blows right from underneath it, and now you're having to reach down underneath it and trying to spread that Tyvek out. Also, it's very noisy, even though I did put it through the washing cycle once, the way I was told to do. Also, there's no way to stake it down in the wind, so I'm going to replace it with my ground sheet. I had brought the wrong ground sheet with me originally. I had brought the one for the other tent, the Altiplex, which is a different ground sheet. So I did use it, but I sent it back as soon as I could for the Tyvek. Well, now, because I'm back home, I found the old ground sheet for the duplex. I intend to use it. These are great, multi-purpose. Because we have a lot of sand on the PCT, the thing about Dyneema is it's very susceptible to abrasion. It's very great fabric unless it's rubbing on something. And when you're laying down at night and your tent is on sand, and sand is like glass, it is probably the most abrasive thing you could possibly have on Dyneema. So having the ground sheet between me and the ground, me and the sand, is great. It saves my tent. I can use it during the day if it's a little moist or something. I want to sit down for lunch, I can just unfold it, sit on it. If there's a storm and I want to hunker down somewhere, I can wrap myself around it. It's waterproof. Or wrap it around me, wrap myself around it, wrap it around me, and use it as extra protection if I need to. It's lighter than the Tyvek. That's the other thing too. I know it's only 4 grams, but they add up. So Tyvek's out, ground sheets in. Okay, up next is a pump sack that came with my thermarest. This is going to replace my little pump. I had a pump that I used. It took 2 AAA batteries, and it was nice because the thing about blowing into these mattresses is that your moisture from your air goes inside. It's dark in there, so mold will grow, will develop. Plus the moisture gets trapped inside the pad. The pad gets heavier. Eventually the mold will break down the insulating factor of the pad and reduce its effectiveness. Using one of these or a pump made perfect sense. It was only 2 ounces or something, but this is even less than that. This is like 10 grams lighter. But it also doubles as a stuff sack for my laundry in town. Instead of having to use the Nylofume bag that lines my pack so that everybody can see my underwear and everything else, which I don't like. So this is a handy bag. I can go do groceries with it. I can do my laundry. I can use it to inflate. It's just a handier solution overall. Even when I pack up my pack, I use it as a stuff sack for the pad. I'll put the pad in here and roll it up, and I don't know why, I just do it. But anyway, I have been doing it for like about a week before I came off trail. But it is a change that I made, and I just thought it should be something that I mentioned. So I am saving, like I say, like not a lot, just a matter of grams, but they're adding up between the ground sheet and this and everything else. We're getting there.